Hi everyone, so it's week 13 and today we're discussing introduction. How should you introduce a speaker and what should be considered in an introduction? In an article I read, it says that the introduction is one of the most critical part of a speech. It's so important because it sets the mood and basically sets the mood between the audience and the speaker. The audience are there to listen. They're there because either the topic is something that really matters to them or interests them and they want to learn more about it, and the speaker's there to educate the audiences, right? So the audience is basically there trying to test your credibility, and they also test you to see if you're likable. When you're introducing yourself or a speaker, you need to set the mood by giving out your name. When you give out your first name, okay, that you know that person by their first name, but when you give out their first and last name, it kind of make it more personal now. So now you caught the audience's attention. Now you're on a personal level with them. Then when you give them the why it matters, meaning why the speaker's here to speak in the first place about this topic, by giving them examples of experiences or even their educational background can really help the topic or the speech. The speech should not be long. It should be short and simple. I tend to like speeches or introductions with a little humor, which is good. It's just like Steve Jobs. When he started out his speech, he talked about his mom giving him up for adoption. He kind of added a little bit of humor in there, and that will actually help relax the audience and make the audience more comfortable. Then then when you don't show any kind of personality in the introduction, you just kind of build you basically build a wall between you and the audience when you don't have any personality. So anyhow, in an introduction, what I think is should be considered is the name, your first and last name, your credential, why this topic is important to you, why it matters to you. Should you use humor? It really depends on the occasion and the type of audience that you're talking to. And then basically that's about it. You don't need to have a long introduction. Give your name, the reason why you're there, why it matters to you. Give them your educational background, your experiences. Try to have a personality when you're up there. Be well, depending on the occasion. Basically, if you're at a funeral, you don't want to be too happy, right? So that's basically my point. Anyhow, so I'm glad I made it, and I will practice on my finals. Hopefully I get a good grade. Good night, everyone.